Hi, my name is Doug Dollar. I'm a Service Delivery Manager in the PSO department at Cherwell Software. Today, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our users to an underused and very valuable function within the Cherwell product set. That function is the Eval Event Monitor. Most users use the Email Event Monitor to purely create incidents or monitor for change request approvals. What we're going to do today is we're actually going to use some underused features in the Email Monitor in order to capture alert information from network management products. In turn, we're going to use the event business object not only to correlate these events, but to also create an incident and suppress multiple incidents from being created from superfluous alarm manager events. As you can see here, I have the Cherwell administrative client open. Our email event manager is actually kept in the following menu. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the email and event monitoring manager, and I'm going to show you a very simple rule to set up in order to create an event, not an incident, not a problem, but an event that we'll use to store and then correlate incident data to. As you can see here in the screen, I have the email event monitor already set up. If I go to edit this event, it's very simple. I am conditionalizing this email alert condition to kick off where it sees a particular string. In this case, we're looking for the string of event monitor in the subject line of the email coming in. Now, it's very important to note that you could have multiple email monitoring products or network monitoring products. These products all have common characteristics. One of them is the ability to pass a pre-formatted alarm ID that is distinct to the condition that the event is detecting. What we see in most event management consoles is that they will send out an email anytime an alert is raised, edited, or cleared. What we're going to do today is we're going to capture all of those situations in the email event monitor, but only open up a single incident in response. Additionally, what we're going to do is we're going to leverage Cherwell's ability to use relationships between business objects, so that way the additional event information is correlated and viewable via a tab in the originally created incident. As you can see, if the email event monitor detects an event coming from your network monitoring product, we're going to go ahead and create a new event action. This is where the rubber hits the road in terms of the value of this particular feature. If you take a look here, if I edit the new event, you see that I'm actually mapping fields into the event business object. And primarily what I'm doing is I'm just taking pieces of the subject line and the body of the email and writing them into particular fields. Now, the key here is that in your alert management or your network monitoring product, what you're going to be doing is sending a pre-formatted email in. The benefit that Cherwell gives you is that the email event monitor uses visual basic functions in string and string manipulation functions to allow you to actually break apart every aspect of this email, grab data, and then write it into the appropriate field. I'm going to go ahead and show you the alarm ID. The alarm ID is this basically the unique identifier of the alarm in the event management or the event alert that's coming in. What we've done in a pre-formatted email is we can use what's called a modifier. And a modifier is basically using basic VB string manipulation functions to go ahead and locate targeted text via a series of functions, as you see here. Now, what we're looking for here in terms of alarm ID is we're looking for text between two different strings. So if I'm in the subject and I see the string alarm ID, I'm going to grab every character between the string alarm ID and a dash. If you've configured your event monitoring or alerting product correctly, you'll be able to drag the event ID or alarm ID out of the incoming alert and write it into a customized field in the event object called alarm ID. We're also doing the same thing with the host name. If you take a look here, I'm looking in the body of the email this time. And in the body of the email this time, I'm actually looking for text after. So I'm looking on every line of the email, and if I see the text or the string host name with a colon behind it, I'm going to go ahead and tell Cherwell that every character to the end of the line of this email will contain the host name of the application. I've done this for every meaningful field in the alarm, capturing severity, the event message, the host name, and the IP address. I'm also writing in a source. A source is merely a field that we're going to bring over saying, hey, this came from email. Now, as you can see here, I actually have a pre-formatted email that I'll use to mimic the alarm coming in. And as you can see, in the subject line, I have alarm ID, colon, and the actual alarm ID ended with a dash. Cherwell is going to see this string and extrapolate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as being my unique alarm identifier coming from my network monitoring solution. As you can see here, with my additional modifiers also are in play. I have host name, colon, and the name of my machine is print server 01. I've also extrapolated the IP address. Cherwell is going to see IP address colon and actually be able to map the IP address into the event business object. Taking a quick look at the event business object, what we can tell you is that we have automation business processes running in the background looking for new events. When they see a new event, again, based on the alarm ID, it's going to create an incident for us. So when print server 01 goes down, we're going to be able to create an incident right off the bat as soon as the event monitor detects it. There's no technician intervention needed. There's no phone call needed. This is an automatic process where all valuable fields and information are being pre-mapped through the event monitor and its ability to manipulate the strings and the format of the email as it's being ingested into Cherwell. And people often ask, Doug, why is this important? Well, it's a lot easier to manipulate a string and drag some stuff out of it using basically a GUI than to, say, write a SOAP script or to be versed in web service calls. This is something a junior admin can accomplish for you in a very short period of time. And it has all the functionality that using a web service call would offer you. What I'm going to do very quickly here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fire off our test email into the Cherwell environment. So I'll just go to Actions, and I'm going to resend this message. I've obviously done some testing with it, so I'm resending. Ignoring spell check, no problem there. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and go into the Cherwell Thick client. And if I search for all events, what we're going to see here in just a couple seconds is that this event is going to get ingested by Cherwell, and a couple seconds after that, the automation business process is going to kick in, and it's going to map the fields from the event into the appropriate fields in the incident, thus creating a ticket that's controlled by SLAs within Cherwell, again, without user intervention and without the need of creating a SOAP web service call. As you can see here, it picked up our event. So if you see, we have our CI condition active. Again, that's just a basic default view. But here's our message. Print server 1 is not responding to ICMP requests and may be down. That came right from our email, and it was dragged out using the modifiers. Same thing for the source, same thing for the event ID. As you recall, event ID was also nested in the subject, and I used the email monitor's ability to basically parse string and place it in the appropriate field. In the background, what I have running is an automation business process looking at the event business object for any new event that gets created. And if I go now and I search for any events or any incidents that were created today, in a couple seconds, what we're going to see here is we're going to see an incident be created for the event that I just wrote into Cherwell.